if governments accepted the fact that we are on a flat Earth, it's not the shape that matters. It's that it's created. Because a Big Bang could be a god, or it could just be the Big Bang as a Jesuit priest made it up, not a scientist, made it up, Big Bang. And so you're still guessing there. You can go either way. But when you discover that the Earth is intelligently designed, there's no other option than there's a creator. Now, that's where I draw the line. Whatever your religious beliefs are, that's your own business. I know there's a creator. My relationship with the creator is my personal relationship. No one's allowed to ask me about it.
Right.
Right. And that's it. I know there's a creator. Now, if governments knew that admitted the Earth was flat, they now have to make laws that are in alignment with natural law, with God's law. Now they've created a ball, a satanic ball. Right? All the measurements of the ball add up to 666.
Yeah, that's true.
There's so many 666s in there. It's insane. So if you play on their ball field, you have to play by their rules. When you unplug from the matrix, it's literally the matrix that we're in, right? If you unplug from their ball belief system, right? When you're born.
Oh, that's funny because that's their god, B-A-A-L.
Yeah, right. Their god is the ball. Gravity is the big G, is their god. And so if you play on their ball field and play with their fiat currency, they've got you. They've got you. When we're born, they register us. They put us on the stock market, our birth certificates. And there's so many ways around all of this stuff. And
so are we anchored to something?
So nobody knows what's below the Earth, right? The deepest hole ever dug is the Great Borehole in Russia. The United States and Russia worked on it for years and years and years. And they got down 7.8 miles, under 8 miles. And they hit an impenetrable barrier. And they tried heat, bombs, diamonds, whatever. They could not get through it. And they finally gave up, right? So if the Earth was an apple, they drilled like a quarter of the way through the skin of the apple. And when they were drilling, they were using ground penetrating radar and everything. Like, okay, there's no more rocks. They hit more rocks. Okay, there's no more water. They hit more water, right? They were wrong every step of the way trying to go through a quarter of the skin. They couldn't get any farther, and they go, okay, we know what the next 4,000 miles is, right? It's about 4,000 miles to the center. And everybody sees that meme that they show us in all school books, right? They show us this meme. This is a pseudoscience meme. We don't know what's on the skin of the apple, and they know what's at the center of the Earth. What's the center of the Earth? They tell us it's a molten magnetic core. That's where our magnetic. Oh, cool story, bro. All right. Any magnet, heat it up. It hits before it melts. It hits what's called the Curie point, and it loses all magnetism.
Right.
But they have a molten magnet in the center of our Earth. And now that we pointed that out, they're like, well, it's actually moving like a dynamo. It's moving and it's creating this, they just make up stuff.
Right. Well, gravity's theoretically made up.
What is gravity?
Is Polaris.
Polaris is the center point that everything rotates around. Here's something interesting. Ready? We weren't taught to think three-dimensionally. We were taught to memorize and regurgitate and get an A. The A is what matters, right? So we're taught that the sun is the center and all the planets go around the sun, right? Halley's Comet goes out 76 years later, comes out around the sun, and it goes back out again, right? So our North Pole, they tell us all the stars spin. They're not spinning, we're spinning, and our axis of rotation is pointing towards that one light in the sky. That's why it looks like it's staying at the same point, and it looks like all the other lights are going around it. Okay. Are all of the other planets' axis of rotation pointing towards Polaris? Answer is no. I think Saturn almost points like towards the sun. Uranus goes that way. They all go all different ways, right? So there's no correlation. But all of the planets, the sun, and the moon, and Halley's Comet, they all circle Polaris. Polaris is the center. I don't know. It's a light in the sky.
Polaris is the center of what?
The center of the rotation above us. If you want to get into the Bible.
I do.
The Bible says that Polaris is God's throne. I don't know. I haven't been there. Makes a lot of sense. In the Bible, it says, and by the way, I like listening to what the Bible says. Before, I would listen to the podcast 10 years ago, and I like, these guys are great. I got notes. I'm writing. These guys are, they believe in the Bible. I'd throw it away, and because they're religious kooks. But now, I don't lead with the Bible. I follow up with the Bible. I'm like, hey, here's the science that proves it, and it's also in the Bible. It's also in the Torah. In the Torah, it says that the sun travels around the north and along the south. It doesn't go around the south. It goes along the south. So if you look at the flat earth, the sun goes around the north, which is the center point of the clock. The sky is a perfect clock, and it goes along the south.
So what I like, another thing you do that's cool, you don't claim...
Well, maybe it's a way, maybe all that, sorry.
No, it's just...
Maybe all that planet spinning and global shit is a way, purposeful way to take us away from God.
Oh, they're hiding God.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, if you ask me what the number one reason is, they're hiding God. I didn't believe in God for most of my life. Because I'll tell the story. I've told it before many times. Is I was born in a Jewish family, and we weren't really practicing and everything. And in junior high school, everybody was going to Young Life, which was a young Christian organization. They're having a trip to Bermuda, and I was like, I want to go. My mom's like, go. So I went, and we're there. I'm like, all right, this is cool. It's a lot of fun. And they brought us out to this cliff, and they're going to do a Bible study. I'm like, okay, this should be interesting. And the first passage that he read was that the stars fell to the earth. And me being scientific, I'm like, the stars are as big as this house and the earth is a marble. How does that happen? And I disregarded the Bible and all religions for 30, 40 years because of that. So scientism, taught science, Rockefeller science.
It is Rockefeller science.
It is, yeah.
Absolutely.
They made me not believe in God. And that's what they want, because if you have a society that believes in God or knows that there's a God, you can't control them.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's why I call it Mon-Satan.
Right.
Because it's science. It's science too, fake science.
Yeah. And Roseanne, you're spinning 1,000 miles an hour. You're orbiting 66.6 thousand miles per hour. We're chasing the sun at 500,000 miles per hour. That's moving sideways at 2.2 million miles per hour. Don't you feel a little wobbly? Right? Now, go outside, think of all those motions, close your eyes and see if you can still stand up. Then shake it off and say, okay, we're flat, we're stationary, we're non-rotating, we're at the center, the foundation of creation. Everything circles around us. Everything is part of us. And once you understand and you see that, then you can go look at all of the nonsense that you were taught. Boats over the horizon. Why does the city disappear from the bottom up? Why does the sun set behind the horizon? All of those are fully explained. In the frequently asked questions on my app, found at flatearthdave.com, there's the section that says, where does the sun go? I fully explained it. It's amazing. And again, I want nobody should leave this podcast that's hearing this for the first time and go, okay, Earth is flat. You need to verify everything I'm saying. Don't believe anything.
Right.
Men lie.
Right.
Women lie. People lie. People make mistakes. You need to verify. I've been doing this for 10 years. And for the first few years, I was trying to disprove it. Now I'm just looking for the truth. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Right. I'm a conspiracy analyst.
I like that.
So you see, my patience is growing.